The Church of the Holy Trinity was an Anglican church established in October of 1847, built as a protest against private reserved pews that were for rent for income at the time in Toronto and most of England. The building was made possible by a €5,000 anonymous donation, later revealed to be Mary Lambert Swale. She died at 25 years of age in England and left her donation in her will to build a church in the middle of Toronto with pews that would be free and unappropriated forever. The terms of her donation were also that the church would be a Gothic in style and circuform plan. The Tudor Gothic building was designed by architect Henry Bower Lane and built by John Harper, who was also accredited with the St. Michael's Cathedral. They used limestone from Humber Valley and sandstone from Ohio for the building's foundation. Revered Dr. Henry Skating was the church's first incumbent, who also agreed to work for free for the first 2 years. He was Master of Classics for Upper Canada College. On May 9th, 1977, a fire began in the Eaton's warehouses, then adjacent to the north and west ends of the church. The Holy Trinity lost its roof and three-quarters of the south side, including three nave windows. There is no documentation of what these windows contained, but they were suspect to be by the McCausland studio. Later that day, parishioners gathered to worship outside and decided the Holy Trinity should remain on its standing ground. Thus, rebuilding on the ceiling began. The ceiling was painted blue as a reminder of the fire and the sky that acted as the ceiling on that first gathering day of worship. The parishioners occupied the Cadillac Fairview offices that owned the Eaton's warehouses and were successful in obtaining a large settlement to rebuild the church. In 1979, stained glass artist Stephen Belanger Taylor was approached by the church's then reverend with regards to rebuilding some of the stained glass features. He was commissioned for three of the church's previous stained glass features before. These new stained glass windows were supposed to represent the Holy Trinity of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Following Belanger Taylor's design, he was asked to present his plans to the entire congregation, describing all of the symbolism and how it was used. The congregation then voted on each symbol and the interpretation in each window. Ultimately, the designs were then approved. By the time Stephen Belanger Taylor completed a separate job with a different church, it was time to begin on the Holy Trinity. With assistance from Patty Walker, he managed to install all three panes of glass. The final window, Gifts from God, was completed and installed in 1982. The windows are meant to be read from right to left when facing the south nave wall. A blue line travels horizontally through all of the windows, uniting them as a symbol of the baptismal river, with divine elements depicted above it and more elements depicted below. At the bottom, a green-brown line represents the foundation of life and growth in the world.